Home sales in South Central Kansas were up 9% in July, with nearly 1,100 homes closing during the month. But here's what's interesting. We had fewer homes for sale than we did this time last year. Fewer new listings came onto the market, and yet more homes sold and more contracts were written. So if you've been hearing that the real estate market has slowed down or that buyers have disappeared, our local numbers tell a very different story. Hello, everyone. I am Richelle Knotts with ReeceNichols South Central Kansas. Each month, we take the latest numbers from South Central Kansas MLS and break down what they actually mean for you. Because, as we've talked about before, the headline numbers are helpful, but averages across an entire market don't necessarily tell you what's happening in your neighborhood, your price range, or within your particular home. So let's look at July. Let's start with the closed sales. 1,097 homes sold across South Central Kansas in July. That's up from 1,006 last July, which is an increase of 9%. And this isn't just a strong July. Year to date, 6,613 homes have sold, which is up 6.5% compared to this point last year. So people are moving. That's something we're seeing inside our office as well. Our agents are busy showing homes, writing contracts, taking listings, working through inspections, and getting people to the closing table. Now let's talk about prices, because this is where looking at one number can be very misleading. The median sales price in July was $245,000, down 2.5% from $251,250 last July. The average sales price was just over $279,000, also down slightly from last year. Does that mean Wichita area home values suddenly dropped? Not necessarily. When we zoom out and look at the year so far, the picture changes. The year-to-date median sales price was $240,000, up 2.1%, and the year-to-date average sales price is approximately $270,600, up 2.4%. That's why we don't want to make decisions based on 1 month's average. The mix of homes sold during a particular month can move that number up or down significantly. So how quickly are homes actually selling? This is another area where the details matter. The average home that sold in July spent 31 days on the market compared with 26 days last year, but the median was only 11 days. That means half of the homes that were sold on the market for 11 days or less, and the median home sold for 100% of its list price. That's a much different story than simply saying homes are taking longer to sell. And when you drill down even further by price range, the difference becomes really clear. For example, homes between $200,000 and $249,000 had a median of just 5 days on the market. Homes between $250,000 and $299,000 had a median of 8 days, while homes between $300,000 and $399,000 had a median of 9 days. That's exactly why real estate is local, not just to a city, but sometimes down to the neighborhood and price point. A home that's priced correctly, in great condition, and in a desirable location can have a completely different experience than the overall market average. Now let's look at inventory, because this might be one of the most interesting part of July's report. At the end of the month, there were 2,180 homes for sale across South Central Kansas. Last July, there were 2,298, so inventory is actually down 5.1% year over year. We currently have about a 2-month supply on hand compared to a 2.6-month supply last July. This is still a relatively tight housing market, and we're not seeing a huge wave of new inventory coming behind it either. There were 1,252 new listings in July, down 11% from last year. For buyers, that means you may have more time to make a thoughtful decision than you did during the extremely competitive markets a few years ago, but that doesn't mean you can assume a great home will sit around and wait for you. If the right property comes onto the market at the right price, buyers are still acting quickly. So what does this mean for sellers? For sellers, I think July reinforces something we've been saying for several months. There is still a strong market, but sellers can't rely on the market to do all the work for them. There was a time when you could put almost anything on the market and expect immediate attention. That's not today's market. Buyers have become more selective, and they're paying attention to condition, updates, location, and most importantly, price. The sellers who recognize that from day one are still seeing excellent results. In fact, The median home sold for 100% of its list price in July. The opportunity is absolutely there. You just need the right strategy and a good agent by your side. Finally, let's look at contracts written, because this is what gives you a glimpse of where the market may be heading next. 976 contracts were written in July, compared with 920 last year. That's an increase of 6.1%. And year-to-date, contracts are running almost 6% ahead of 2025. Even more telling, half of the homes that went under contract in July had been on the market for 11 days or less. So, despite all the conversations about a changing housing market nationally, buyers are still actively writing contracts here in South Central Kansas. So, is now a good time to move? Your answer continues to be yes, but your strategy matters more than ever. If you are buying, today's market can give you something buyers haven't always had over the last several years. A little more time to think, evaluate your options, and make an informed decision. But when the right home comes along, you still need to be prepared to act. If you're selling, demand is absolutely still there. But buyers are more discerning, which means pricing and presentation matter. Most importantly, don't let a national headline or even a South Central Kansas average tell you what your real estate situation looks like. July's numbers show exactly why. Sales are up, contracts are up, inventory's down, year-to-date prices are still appreciating, and well-positioned homes are selling very quickly. The market isn't stopped, it's active, it's evolving, and people are still moving. If you're curious about what these numbers mean for your neighborhood, your home, or your next move, reach out to one of our agents at ReeceNichols South Central Kansas. We can drill down into the data to what it actually matters to you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.